Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. I am Lynn with Plasma Energy Solution. This is January 11th, 2021. And today I'm going to talk to you about a blog that is going up on the website today or tomorrow. And it's also about a special I'm doing. So, the more you give, the more you receive. And we've just come out of the season for giving, centered around December and whatever your beliefs are during the December holidays. But now it's January. So now what? How do you stay away from a sense of lack or deprivation when you are trying to maintain your lives and your families, and a government sends you $600? There wasn't room in the digital way that it was sent for them to put a message that said, "Good luck, toots." But when you think about it, and there's millions and billions going overseas and some pocket change going to the American people, it all just sounds a little weird, doesn't it? At least it does to me. I'm sure Pakistan really needed the millions they got for a gender study. But what you have to understand is get out and do your research. Why are there things like this sent abroad? Are there things promised abroad so that some bribe money can come back into the pockets of those who promise it? Do your research. The best way I can tell you to do research is to turn off your TV set. I couldn't stand to watch TV for quite some time, and I'd always get up and walk out of the room when a commercial came on, but it got to the point I looked like a jumping jack. There'd be 4 minutes of whatever you were watching and 6 minutes of commercials. So finally, a couple of years ago, we just shut it off and quit paying attention to that method of information delivery. Well, so anyway, what can we do about all this? I decided a few months ago what I could do about it as one individual is send out peace vials or patches if it was out overseas with every order that came in. That's what I could do with as one individual, and with the intention that accompanied that piece that I sent. So now I'm wondering what more I can do. And I had somebody ask me for some help on an order because they're not working right now. And that may be true for many people right now. So here's what I've decided to do. I'm going to go ahead and extend the 25% off gift that I did in memory of Paul in December. And so what you're going to do is you're going to place your order, and at the checkout you're going to put the coupon word Paul. Now, some of you who might have already ordered in January might feel like you missed out. Well, just go in and figure out with your order what would have happened if you would have had the extra percent, and then make a request for something that falls in that range from the website, and just send me an email and say, "Lynn, would you send me this or that? I missed out on the 25% in January," and I'll be glad to do something about that. All right, don't forget that in January we do have the special on 2020 Plus, and it's unfortunate people are feeling lack because of what's going on in the capital of our country what's going on in the money capitals of our country that isn't serving everyday people very well. So I don't want you to have that sense of lack, and I hope this will help out. And in the meantime, I'm going to ask you to do some research. If you're running around wearing a mask all the time, I'm going to ask you, would you go in the garage and turn on the car and just stand out there and breathe for what you would call fresh air? If you go outside and you're wearing a mask, you are breathing carbon monoxide. You're breathing your own discard air. Does that make any sense to you? Do you know that people that are wearing these in gymnasium, when they go to the gym, their oxygen levels are dropping below what OSHA says is safe oxygen levels? Does that make any sense to you? Children are being asked to wear this all day and then to wear them while they're playing sports. Oh gosh, they couldn't figure out a way how to make the swimmers wear a mask. Too bad, huh? But just stop and think about things like that. If you used to go outside for fresh air and now you're going outside and slapping a mask on your face, well, like I said, you may as well turn on the car and go in the garage and have a little of that version of fresh air for a few minutes. So we're seeing a lot of things that smack of rules for thee but not for me. You must do this, you must do that. I'm asking all of you, do your research on something that's injectable. Do your research. If it's been around for a couple years before there was something announced that was making everybody put a mask on, well, what's in it? Do your research. It may not be what you think it is. Okay, so I also want to remind you, don't forget about our plasma energy station. That was the first thing that Dr. Paul and I did with all the GANs that he had been making. So it's got a lot of special qualities. We've got a lot of testimonials on our website about people who have enjoyed the benefits that they've seen for their pets, their plants, and for themselves. So do take a look at that. This is a good time to get it if there's a 25% coupon for the month of January. And do read my blog because I'm sharing some information that others have shared with me. And I'm particularly sharing some information from someone who's used our plasma energy station and some other things for quite a while. And she started experiencing an instant type of paralysis where she could not move her muscles at all. And in talking to her, because she's in a city where I've heard some things from some other people that are having some issues with their health, with maybe headaches, dizziness, disorientation, things like that. It has to do with some of the Wi-Fi claims that are out there. Or it may have to do, it may have to do with that. And when all this was described to me, it made me recall those videos that came out right away last winter from the country where all of this supposedly originated. And there were some videos of people walking down the street talking on their cell phone, and they collapsed, and some of them died right there. They collapsed. They were in complete muscle paralysis. So one of the things I asked this individual was, where is the breaker box for where you live? Well, it turns out it was in her bedroom. So among other things that she was sent the breaker box magnet with the shungite and the silver in it. And we've discussed that research that Dr. Paul did on what the Russians and Japanese had to say about that combination and the benefits of the energy fields when you're in these non-beneficial energy fields. So I want you to be sure and read the blog, because it's a pretty amazing description of what had happened to her, and then of what the outcome was and how long it took for that outcome. So put your thinking caps on. And here's the other thing. Now, I've offered a 25% discount. I know there'll be some of you who think I ought to give everything to you for free. But I've got to maintain the supplies I need for mailing things out. I send things to you free of charge as far as the mail goes. So I'm not government funded like many companies are right now. I'm not Amazon. I'm not some of these other companies. So I do have to be mindful of watching the bottom line when I'm also trying to incorporate some generosity with that. If it's still a stretch for you, even with this discount, go find someone else to go in with you on the expense and share it. Because if I send a set of vials and you set up your mother sources of whatever vials you've ordered, let them sit overnight and then take some of that water and share that water with your partner. And from there you can continue sharing. Now, if there's someone around you that you think could benefit from some of the plasma energy, before you just outright give it to them, ask them who they might know who would need some. And then you can make it for both of them. Or you can make it for that individual that you're going to give some to, and that individual can make it for someone else and continue to pay it forward. So don't get stymied by a bottom line, because there's always different ways to solve a problem to get there. And I just want to re-emphasize that the more that you give, the more that you receive. And the other thing I want to emphasize, because of what's going on in our country now, we may be in for some very, very unusual times for the next week, 10 days, month, several months. And I want you to remember one thing: tough times never last. Tough people do. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this. I want to encourage you to go and read the blog and find out what it's all about. And be strong. If you're getting uptight, get your peace, get your anxiety, and use that. It'll settle you down. And for those of you that might experience an odd day, that you just feel a lot of anger, well, is that anger really coming from inside of you? Or is that being some type of energy directed at you? Because I've talked to some people, several different people in several different areas that have experienced something like that. And I actually experienced myself, and for the most part, I don't have anything to be angry about. Now, I can get in a flap over what's going on nationally and how things are being run on our planet. But in my daily living, there's not that much to get agitated over. But just stop and think about one thing. There's someone who's putting up 100,000 satellites around the Earth. 100,000. And it's going to direct energy towards the Earth. Gee, I wonder what could go wrong with that idea. All right. Be strong. Tough times never last. Tough people do. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Give me a thumbs up if you've liked it, and please do share it with others. And remember, our website is plasmaenergysolution.com. Thanks.